You good now?
Yeah.
Why are you cold? Why is the hood up?
Why can't I wear a hoodie, Kyle?
I wear a hoodie, but my hoodie's not up, and if it was, my headphones would be underneath it, so
Oh,
that
and you look a
way.
little sketch, bro, wearing that hoodie up like that.
Why?
I'm not going there.
That dude, it's a Power Rangers hoodie.
You got one word wrong.
You're so wrong. Starting crap like that on election day, Manny. Were you sitting on that? Did you figure I would be wearing my
Actually, I've
my
never seen you actually put that hoodie up. So you just it was just a matter of you setting yourself up perfectly.
it felt like you tried to set me up there, Manny. That's just mean, man.
Oh, I
It's
am
just
a mean
mean.
one, Mr.
I hope
Grinch.
you have a long day at work
You
now.
know,
I hope
regardless, it
it's
is gonna be a
forever.
long day, but I'm very excited. So
I know you are. You're getting to do some really cool things at your job, which is awesome. Good morning, everyone. Well, I don't know why I say good morning. It should just be good day because
good
you
day.
guys
Good
usually
day
get
to you,
this
sir.
later in the day. But good day, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and YouTube channel. Wherever you get your podcast from, Google, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, we're on all of those ones. If you listen to something and we're not there, let us know. We can try to get on there, but definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. All of our stuff goes up on video, so if you've been a long time audio listener, come meet us face to face in a sort of way. I'm Kyle. That's Manny. And what do we do? What do we do here? We'll talk about whatever the hell we want. It's election
Yes.
day in the United States of America, midterm elections, and so we are going to be giving you guys a state by state analysis. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we are. I got a map and everything ready. Let's do it.
We've got graphics and no. I hope everyone that feels the need to get out to vote goes and votes. Vote your issues, your conscience, whatever it is that is driving you. Go out and support that. And if there is nothing you can support, there's nothing you can support. I get that. Sometimes the common mantra of lesser of two evils is why we're in a lot of the positions we're in. Both sides can probably agree to that, because not every Democrat has voted that someone has voted for was their number one choice. Same with Republicans. So that's how I always view it. Vote your conscience, even if that means there's some candidates or some races that you don't even partake in because it just wouldn't freaking matter, and the lesser of two evils is just not a good mentality to have, in my opinion.
That's one of my favorite Simpsons moments is when the two aliens come down, the big eye aliens come down. Yes. And they pretend to be the
it's a two-party system.
It's a two-party system. You have to vote for one of us. What are you gonna do? Vote for the Green Party? I think he said Green Party. It might have been Independent.
It was something like that.
Yeah. One of them. And then Homer's getting whipped and everything. Do you remember? Like Marge is mad, and he's like, "Don't blame me. I voted for Corona."
Yeah. That's a great classic Halloween special. Especially like how Homer accidentally jettisons Bob Dole and Bill Clinton into space.
A couple of people like that we should throw into space. Just saying.
There's about 500 in DC that I could see jettisoned into outer space.
So the only thing I'll
reset.
Say, the only thing I'll say about elections today is whether you want to vote or not, and I don't really care how you vote, because whatever, it's your American given right. Just read, please read. Yeah. Please understand what you're voting for first, because especially here in California, we've had a few things, especially pertaining to the criminal justice system, that have passed in the past, and now people are like, why does that happen? You voted for it. That's why. You voted for it a couple years ago, and now we're dealing with the consequences of it. And yeah, that's basically it. Read. Just make sure you're educated about what you're voting for, because a lot of times commercials and propaganda and the people coming up to you have one side of the story, but there's a lot of things that usually get sneaked into certain propositions, certain measures that if you don't just actually read what it's going to do, you're actually voting for something that's not very helpful for you or your family. That's it. Read. Just be informed.
I cannot agree more. And in light of this special day, which I remember going to school on election days, and yet my son has no school today.
Really?
Does your daughter have school?
Yeah, everybody goes to school. Everybody got to go to work.
No, because my dad, who's a teacher, his state, Tennessee, is similar to here.
Oh wow, okay.
Where I'm at, where the teachers are at work, they get time to go
yeah
vote,
yeah well yeah, that's here
but they're at work, but no students.
Oh, interesting. Maybe that's just a coincidence, like they make it a work day, because I know that like, well, teachers here have work days all the time, but if you combine the two, then it serves a double purpose.
Yeah. So anyways, Manny had an idea, something that I really wasn't aware was as big a thing as I had thought, and he was like, political movies and TV shows, ones around elections. I was like what? I knew of Election with Broderick and Reese Witherspoon, which I've seen one time, and I've seen like 2 episodes of House of Cards, so I didn't even realize that this was a thing. When I think of political things centered on politics, don't laugh, I think of Air Force One.
Oh, I like Air Force One.
President being hijacked. Mm-hmm. I do think of Idiocracy. Well, Idiocracy comes to mind, but that's more of a result of society crumbling and that affecting the politics more than it is the politics itself, even though it's saying that our choices will lead to political antics like that. So it's somewhat political. But I did always enjoy how in depth the quorum and the politics of Battlestar Galactica played out in the 2000s reimagining series. That was really cool.
Well, to make you feel better, one of the first movies I thought of was Triple X, State of the Union. So there's always a line in that movie that sticks out to me, which is how did it go? William Dafoe says it, and it actually sounds pretty cool and kind of scary also. I think he's like, the history books will be the ones to define traitors and patriots or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's actually a very deep line for a Ice Cube movie. It probably didn't go that way. It's like very similar, but right. But yeah, no, I usually think of that. And honestly, my all-time favorite, I'd say, political or election movie is a comedy, Head of State with Chris Rock.
I don't think I watched that one. I know of it, but I don't think I watched it.
We love that movie so much because it makes fun of the election process, like, and it's really fun. They have like Chris Rock, who's like an alderman for a town, and the Democratic Party needs kind of like a scapegoat to just kind of get through that election. And then he actually starts winning, so they start backing up the other guy. and then he chooses his brother as his running mate, who's Bernie Mac, and so it's just a really good time, and so that's my favorite one.
That is a good one. As I'm trying to load up this video here, one of the most brilliant commentary on elections and politics ever came in multiple episodes of Futurama, of all things. Like, they were just really, really good at getting people into the awfulness of the two-party system. You have this joke that, you okay?
I'm looking for something that's on the ground. I'm good. I'm listening to you.
Okay, you have like the election between Jack Johnson and John Jackson. They're clones of each other that differentiate only on such a small scale that you can't even tell. There's the Nixon coming back. I think up until that time, the allegedly most corrupt president. I would wager there was lots of corruption before and after, but you just get this brilliant like breakdown of everything that's wrong with American politics. And sorry to everyone else's politics out there. I'm sure yours have their quirks as well. I watch a lot of UK news, so I see the Houses, Lords and Commons, and the stuff going on with the PM, and that's pretty funny in a sad way. But here in America, man, it's so messed up, and for them to be able to break that down in such a funny way, kind of made it easier to swallow there in the 2000s with how awful things could really be. I don't know, man. I almost wonder if there's such a lack of more. We always look at the past things, like we've had those shows covering the elections in 2000, the election in 2016. We've had movies, we've had things that cover historical events once they've happened. But the idea outside of something like the Manchurian Candidate, some sci-fi twist to it, or some plot twist, just a straight look at a U.S. election in a fictional setting, but not in a fantastical set. I think the process is just too damn stressful in reality to do that a lot.
It is a very stressful process. I mean, we just talked about quite a few things that make it stressful, and then you have certain networks that really they really, because sensationalism is what gets you views. Let's just put it that way. And you have networks that thrive on presenting the issues with fear instead of just facts and with information. And it's funny because at work, obviously, we have TVs with multiple stations, and I have just to give you the two, Fox News and CNN on at the same time.
Right.
And to see them, how they present, top stories, because usually they're very similar, to see how they're presented in very opposite ways to create a narrative for either way is very interesting, because then you leave a person with a supposed one way to respond to it. Like, this is either very good or very bad, instead of trying to come meet in the middle and kind of
see where maybe it should be worked.
So that's
neither too good nor too bad.
But the thing is that both of them have gone so far that there's no going back. Now, if you try to actually present something in a fair and balanced way, you lose your viewership.
Yeah.
So
everyone has learned to live and feel comfortable in their bubble. That's the problem. And so you seek out like-minded people. The problem is with media is you consciously, subconsciously, no matter which way, by seeking out news media that you tend to agree with, means that anytime they do have bias, you're taking it as fact. You're taking it as truth. You're not looking at it in any objective way, because it's saying what you want it to say, which means when someone does come at you with an opposing viewpoint, you're never exposed to it, especially in any type of civil way. You're always exposed to it as in, this is the wrong way versus this is the other side's way. And sometimes the other side is outright wrong, but that usually comes with like genocide and things like that. But we all live in bubbles. You have to try hard to get out of the bubble. I have to try hard. Like I'm one that goes in and out of these awful runs on political Twitter, and a few people that I follow are definitely highly active in political commentary. And sometimes I'll get suckered into the bubble that surrounds those that I tend to align with politically. And I have to go out and then interact on purpose to rebalance my feed. Because if I don't, then some of the stuff that, yeah, I align with your idea here, but your method of achieving this idea I'm against, or whatever. If I don't expose myself to more sides, then I'm not going to be able to see that and keep myself in check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's but and it's the same thing on social media, because places like Facebook, their algorithms will show you things you want to see. And so it's never really a kind of fair and balanced also situation where you're getting you know, like just information. You're getting information presented to you in the way that you want to see it. You have
Right.
no idea how many people take Facebook posts as well, you do, you probably have an idea. I shouldn't say that. Take it as law, and as like, you know, like if it's gravity or something, and then it's funny to see then, like, how far down people go down the rabbit hole. Because I've been at like board meetings for schools and things like that. People are like, I found this on the Facebook, and it says that there's a doctor, and that says that if you drink water with salt, it cures the COVID or something like that. And you're like, where did you read this? Like, it was on Facebook, so it's real, right? It's like, no, that's not how really it works. But because it fits your narrative, who cares if it's real or not?
Yeah. And if it starts a discussion, it doesn't matter if something was a lie or a hoax. If it starts a discussion, that's important. You know, I can kind of transition that a little bit into more of a media thing outside of just politics. Nick Dahl, we all know him, we all love him. He's our kind and cuddly MCU super fan here on the Genreverse Does Marvel Multiverse Mayhem. Although he won't be doing it this week. That'll be me and Manny on Friday instead of Daily Cup of Genre. So it's like a mix mash. I might make a new overlay. We'll see. That takes effort. However, he shared an interesting tweet last night about AMC Theaters and Zoom announcing a partnership beginning in 2023. Now, on your screen, you're looking at the desktop. You see the whole headline. The deal will include using theater venues to facilitate conference calls between small, medium, and large groups in different locations. This is something that the military has done. We have virtual either training conference or teleconference, something like that, where they used satellite and internet link, units from across the country, world together to have a virtual conference. Saves money. You don't have to send all the leadership and their aides to go meet up in one place. Nick tweets out, what does that mean? Like Zoom and AMC, because in the mobile version of this, you only see the part about a partnership. And it kind of goes to what you were saying earlier about the importance of reading. Like, we can't even be like, we know that people don't read beyond the headlines of an article usually when they just share it on Twitter. So if the article headline is sensational, their mind is running with that versus what might actually be, written in the article. Now we're getting to the point we can't even be bothered to just open the tweet, which is only going to have 100 and some odd characters in it, or 200 some odd characters, and read the rest of it, because I could see what was potentially going on in the mind there of they're gonna combine, or we're gonna be able to stream movies, or we're gonna be able to have watch party. Like, I could see that being.
No, man, they're making movies. They're doing meetings.
They're gonna make movies.
Zoom, Zoom productions,
Zoom movies. But from all of AI assisted from all of your Zoom calls, we've been recording you guys for the last 3 years.
Oh God.
No, but I could see where that kind of mentality goes, and especially because I know Nick, and he's a good friend, and he's big on entertainment stuff, but it is a sign of like how elections, and then, like I said, Idiocracy, one of my favorite movies. I can see us moving right there. We're like one election away from President Camacho. Only it won't be Terry Crews this time, unfortunately.
And it won't be a movie where it ends.
Yeah, it won't be a movie where it ends. So,
You know which other movie's pretty close to reality nowadays?
what's that?
The Purge election year.
Okay, you have to explain that one. I have not watched that one.
Nah, it's just been a while since I watched it, but I watched some of the rallies on TV and stuff that's going on around the country, and
and that's the.
I'm like, yep, okay. So it was a funny movie when it was really far off in the distance as far as a of like an alternate reality. It's not as funny anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's something that happens often. Back to your point, actually. We have a lot of times when I'm working with the digital team over at the station, people make comments all the time and ask like very obnoxious questions that are answered in the article that they don't bother to read.
Yeah.
And so we make it our goal. We do our due diligence to let them know the answer is in the article.
Yeah.
We always respond to the like. And then it just shows people's ignorance, because it's like, you didn't read it. We know you didn't read it.
Yeah.
and you're just showing the whole world just how trigger happy you are.
I will say this. I had a fun conversation with one of our Jesus.
With Jesus?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I could have made a church joke, but I'm not. Someone's comic post has a freaking gray in it, and it was on our page, so it just startled me. In one of our conversations about, where did I have that Star Wars rant with you last week? One of our commenters on LRM Online said that I had promised a discussion on Tales of the Jedi, and that one of the people in it hadn't watched it, and I was like, I didn't promise anything other than a Star Wars rant. Manny having and wanting me to watch it is the trigger of said rant. Therefore, it is logical, nay, necessary to label the chapter accordingly. It is also proper to utilize the image that I did, because I have an image of Ahsoka from Tales of the Jedi. To utilize the image that I did. Now, good day, sir. And they said, well, you definitely delivered on the rant. So I appreciate Carl, who does appear to listen to the show, and shout out to you and making comments there on the website. And I realized I forgot to transfer. You were looking at Manny that whole time while I was reading that stuff. Anyways, I do appreciate people that go in beyond, check out the context. Maybe not just stop at the hot take, but hear if the hot take does get context within the next few minutes of said take coming out. I don't know, man. We're a very reactionary species in general, and even more so today, where communication is instantaneous across infinite distance. Well, not infinite, but relative to, you can talk to anyone on Earth in a matter of seconds. So,
yeah.
You want to talk about one piece of double-edged, potential bright but potentially awful news?
Yeah.
James Cameron's comments on his, he wants Avatar to be 5 movies, right?
Jesus Christ! Why shouldn't even be 2?
That's old. I agree. That's old news,
true.
that he wanted to do 5 movies, and they were greenlit essentially under Fox. So, we have him discussing which total film that we might not get Avatar 3, or excuse me, 4 and 5. That Avatar 3 could finish this if the Avatar 2 does not do as well as they are hoping. It looks like it could be $1 billion to make these 4 sequels. 3, of course, has already been like in some various level of production. The market, he says, the market could be telling us we're done in 3 months. and this is, getting into December, or we might for the release, or we might be semi-done, meaning, okay, let's complete the story within movie 3 and not go on endlessly if it's just not. Damn it! Why did it? There we go. I'm reading from here, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube. The market could be telling us we're done in 3 months, or we might be semi-done, meaning, okay, let's complete the story within movie 3 and not go on endlessly if it's just not profitable. I don't think I've ever heard a filmmaker talk like that. Like, usually they push the idea that it's going to be this trilogy or this series of things, even if they know in the back of their mind that it's not necessarily going to play out that way. Bravo for them to say that. Do you think he's tempering expectations, or do you think he's nervous, or is this just kind of like a humble brag because they know it's going to dominate? Because I don't care for Avatar. I think it's ridiculous the amount of money that the first one made on such a poor story. Very cool tech, worth seeing once.
What's the thing? The first one was worth seeing because of the cool tech, and it was very much very advanced of its time. So,
but I don't want a movie like this to make bank, because I don't like stupid things continuing. But at the same time, movie theaters need this to make bank.
No,
movie theaters need this to do like 500-600 million domestically so bad. I just don't want it to be this.
No, if the movie does well, and I don't like it, that's my problem. That's not the market's problem. That's not audience's problem. You're allowed to. I'm happy for the people that enjoy it. I'm just not one of them. But I don't.
You got the Venom fans. Venom fans gave us Morbius, so.
Yeah, they did. I know, but hey, then that's when. But we saw the writing on the wall with what was going to happen with that. Of course, it happened. And now we get like Kraven the Hunter, we get Madam Web, which are going to be in the same vein.
Anyways,
and so no, I think it's
Sony
just,
rant. Listen up, Sony. I can't take. No, I'm joking. Carry on.
I think it's just him seeing the way movies are debuting. You see the way that, like, for example, it's a beloved franchise like Halloween just fell off a cliff. The Black Adam, which has The Rock, which in previous years, I think in 2019, that movie would have made bank. It's just it would have been
140 domestic.
A little bit more than that, yeah, because like a movie like Jumanji was and just because it featured like The Rock and Kevin Hart and stuff, it did so well. I mean,
we're looking at 321 million worldwide for a $200 million movie, which means it has yet to break even.
But right now, it's fine. It'll be fine in the long run. So it's just we're just living in different times as far as cinema and what makes money.
Yeah.
And I think like right now, a movie like Avatar, from the people I've talked to close to me and around me, I've kind of been actually asking around what they thought of Avatar, and we're just kind of like, there's some people who are like, yeah, it's like the best thing since ice cream, and other people are like, yeah, no, that movie's dumb. I never understood the hype. I am one of the people who've never understood the hype for the story. I understand and respect what it did for like 3D cinema and things like that, which is why you should have enjoyed that movie in a way, because sometimes that's really what a movie was for. But then, like, is that a story that I really want to see continued? Like, I don't care for the characters. Nah, absolutely not. So now, in this modern day and age, it doesn't provide me any real sort of entertainment, I guess, value for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and watch it. So yeah, I don't know. It's Avatar, man. Whatever.
It's Avatar. Whatever.
Hey, you know what? You know what? If we're gonna talk really quick movie news, I thought was really interesting. Terrifiers crossed $10 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was a $25,000 budget, something like that.
That's good. Good for them. Good for horror. Good for just all around good. It's great, even when things don't, like I said, I don't like Avatar. I don't want to see more made only because I don't like it. But at the same time,
Now
I want theaters.
you can make
I want
more.
theaters to do.
I don't care
Yeah, I
what.
get
Yeah.
that, but it's me just kind of playing into that trope, you know. But regardless, I want it to do well, so theaters will get some desperately needed.
Well, yeah, because
desperately
the
needed
thing is
money.
like, so like the movies I'm against making are some of the stuff like Sony works on because it's like complete and utter trash.
That's
But
kind of where I'm at with Avatar.
but no, Avatar's gonna make a ton of money, so that's fine. Make a ton of money.
Yeah.
That's
No,
really
I mean
the
just
business
that I
of
view
it.
it
Yeah.
as trash.
And then, like, it's not trash. It's just not my type of story.
It's just
A
not
movie
well
like Morbius
written.
is trash. A
It's
movie
not,
like Avatar, it's still a good movie. Just
I
not for me.
guess. I guess.
You know, because they're still gonna use amazing effects. I've seen some of the clips
Oh,
and things
yeah.
from it, but again, just not for me. And that's nothing against anyone who actually wants to watch it. Blah blah blah.
Well, Manny, to get off of that topic and move on to one last. Are you a Gears of War fan by chance?
I have stickers from Gears of War. Does that count?
Okay.
No, seriously, I've never played the game. I gotta get to
Okay.
it at some point.
Okay, well, it's you know, one of Xbox's biggest franchises there for a bit. You are kind of the invading assholes, I guess, taking out these aliens, bugs, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Kind of plays off of Starship Troopers, if I'm remembering correctly, the kind of core of Gears of War. And it's going to be getting a live action feature film and an animated series. If they do something anime related like Edge Runners, that would be amazing. I could also see Powerhouse, who did Castlevania. They also did the He-Man stuff, but we will just focus on the good that was Castlevania.
Castlevania was good.
Damn right. I'm definitely interested in that, but here we go again, man. Netflix, a Netflix video game adaptation after Resident Evil. I mean, I know that was Sony, but still.
Well, I know Netflix doesn't really have. I know they always say like Netflix original, but that's like just like when Hulu says like Hulu original or whatever.
Right.
It's kind of a stretch because it's different studios. It's just that they bought the
Yes.
rights for it. But you know what you're getting. You're involved to some degree. It's not like Netflix is like, yes, give me the Resident Evil show, and then they're like, here's a show, and then they go, what?
It was bad.
Yeah, no. I sometimes I feel like that Netflix just is like, yeah, sure, content. Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, that people will like that. People will click on this, and then you get things like, yeah, like Resident Evil or like, what was that? Death Note.
Yeah.
Brotherhood. What was it? The live action version of that other anime.
Oh, Full Metal.
Thank you.
Alchemist.
I couldn't get it. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, don't insult FMA Brotherhood, man. That's a work of freaking art.
No, I mean not the anime.
Yeah,
the
I know,
live.
I
Yeah.
know.
So, which was confusing when I
second
went
part
to go
came out,
watch
or
it
final
because
part,
people are like,
not too long ago.
people are like, no. When you're gonna watch Full Metal Alchemist, watch Brotherhood because they screwed up the first time around, and this will be better. And I was like, what? Anyway, that's
in
not
general, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like
yeah,
them.
don't know.
I like them both, though. I really do. I have reverence for the 03. I think it's 03. I have reverence for that one as well. Anyways.
Yeah, and so now, like, honestly, I'm not. I wouldn't even call myself a fan of One Piece, but I watched enough of it to really appreciate the characters and kind of the overall theme of the show. And now I'm terrified to see the live action thing that they're putting together. I don't care who's involved. Don't start
Yeah.
telling me that the creator is involved and that's going to make it better, because that's rarely the case.
Hey, George Lucas was involved with the Star Wars prequels.
Hey, you know what? The prequels have aged a little bit better, so that's not. Yeah, they have, and they've expanded the universe in a very well way. Gave us Clone Wars, gave us Rebels, gave us Tale of the Jedi. We're gonna have an Ahsoka show thanks to it. We've been able to go back and
we could have had all of that without the We could have had all that without the prequels, or the prequels could have been that. The prequels could have started with the freaking Clone Wars. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah. So, sorry, man. Like it's the prequels have done a lot more for Star Wars than anything that new that they put together.
Well, yeah, the majority of the new stuff has been trash, from books to comics to movies, to shows. The majority of it, not all of it. Andor's freaking gold.
It's too long, but yeah.
The prequels were freaking atrocious. Unforgivable sins were committed in those movies. Just like unforgivable sins were committed with stuff like Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett's getting boring. Do you want to put the Mandalorian in it? I thought this was a Boba Fett show. Yes, but Grogu. You put Grogu in it? Yeah, and Luke Skywalker.
Grogu.
Luke Skywalker? Are you kidding me? And we might. It's like, oh, okay, let's do that. What about Danny Trejo? Like, bro, like, how are you gonna get Danny Trejo in there? It was like, okay, well, easy.
And then not have him like actually, fight the Rancor in a way of like he's showing him who's boss and like
he touches him,
wrangling him.
It's like that entire the Book of Boba Fett was Sony level stuff right there. So
yeah. It's CW level stuff, man.
Don't mess with CW, man. They gave me some great.
The majority of it.
They gave us some really great DC moments, man. And I appreciate the years and years of fandom that they were able to provide us with characters that we'll probably will never see on the big screen, like an amazing Captain Cold. The Supergirl series was pretty good. I can go on it. I have a big love for the Arrowverse, because while some of it may be very cheesy, it provided me with a visual representation of a world that I'll never see in film.
James Gunn's working hard on it for you right now, bud. Real hard. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, Manny's got work. Hard. Manny's got work to do. I've got anime reactions to try to get done today. Hopefully Beast Tamer and Chainsaw Man. Christina and I are going to try a shotgun mic position, so that way we don't have to have as much equipment. We can sit a bit more comfortably to do the reaction videos that you can find on the Genreverse YouTube channel. Thank you to all 1,000+ subscribers. We appreciate each and every last one of you. Check out Anime-Versal Reviews' reactions, also known as AVR Squared, as well as genre shot trailer reactions, in addition to video formats of all of our podcasts like Anime-Versal Reviews, Daily COG, Breaking Geek Radio, which is kind of like our show, but much longer and only once a week. The Cantina, still doing Andor reviews, but we'll have some Star Wars news to discuss on this week's episode as well. And of course, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem, which, as I told you guys, will be a special with Manny and I instead of Nick and I, because Nick and I schedules aren't going to line up. So that's how it'll happen. LRMonline.com every day for all other entertainment news, needs, opinions, celebrity interviews, written reviews, and more across all things in entertainment. Manny, where can people find you at online?
At Manny Gomez Media on Twitter, and at riddlemethuss_510. I should have the videos from the Santa Claus's interviews either tonight or tomorrow night. So
I saw the snippet that you shared. That was really cool. Tim Allen's part of my childhood.
Tim the Toolman Taylor, Buzz Lightyear.
Some Home Improvement. Love me some Home Improvement. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.